look who we have here. Now, we're playing on KRTY.com, but for those of you who want to see it on our socials, you can actually see Jay Allen. Now, Julie and I aren't worth seeing, but Jay is.
He
How are
is.
You, fella?
Oh, come on. I just got out of the gym, so I don't know about all that.
Okay. Like he's never said that before, Julie.
Right.
I just got out of the gym.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
If I'm not on the road, I'm in the gym, man. That's my happy place.
Nobody looks at Gary and goes, "Hey, did you just get out of the gym?" No.
Oh, come on.
Maybe Slim Jim. No, they may sit there and go, "You just had a Slim Jim?" That's what. How often? Can I ask you just these silly questions? Okay, how often do you work out and how long?
So sometimes I work out twice a day, to be honest. Now it's nice in Nashville weather-wise, so I've been running outside and then going to the gym. If I'm on the road, sometimes I just have to work out in the hotel room, get creative, or in a parking lot. But I go every single day. I do not miss a day. I'm not lying. It's honestly, y'all, it's more so for this. I have a sense of clarity. You know, all the endorphins release after you get out and you really beat yourself up, and just I have so much like clarity, and I get more done with my day if I just go work out. So it may not be for everyone, but it works for me.
The only endorphins that work for me after I get done with the run is that I'm done. That's where the endorphins happen. Right? At no point while I'm doing it am I going, "God, is this fun? Oh man, is this fun?" As my wife goes, she'll go, I'll get home from a run. She'll go, "How did it go?" And I'll look at her in complete seriousness and go, "I did not die." So therefore,
hey man, that's a blessing. Yeah, you made it. You survived.
But these people will go and go, "Man, I lift these weights and it feels so good. And I get some, you know, to heck with you guys." That's what I'm saying. It's to heck with you guys. But if you want to look like Jay Allen, that's what you do.
Oh man, I don't know about all that. I could do a lot better. I'm trying my dangest. I have a beautiful wife, and she's younger than me. So it's like, however I can keep up with her, I will go the extra mile.
I was just getting ready to bring that up. I mean, you know, that's a lot of pressure when you look at Kylie Morgan and go, "Okay, I got to make sure she keeps her head turned this way."
Yeah, and we got the ACMs coming up, and I have to walk the red carpet with her. I'm like, oh my, no pressure, man. Like, I got to be next to that goddess. Okay, so.
Do you get to choose what you're going to wear to the ACMs? Or there is nothing in my closet right now outside of KRTY.com here that I have purchased. Not one thing. So my wife decides what I wear. What's your situation?
So I'm the opposite. I won't let Kylie buy anything for me. I wear all black all the time. In the past, for different award shows and events, I've kind of gone outside of my box. Like for the BMI Awards last year, I wore like this teal colored suit, and I'm always the guy that wears all black. So I show up in a teal colored suit and everyone else is wearing all black. And I was like, never again am I doing this. So I'm actually wearing my wedding tux for the ACMs. I'm having it all like dry clean. And we have a stylist who is actually a really good friend of ours. She moved to Nashville and started the Bluff Agency. She's one of my oldest childhood friends. Now she's styling us and like a lot of our good artist friends. And doing a lot of good work. So she has my tux right now. I'm praying it's done in time. But I will be all black head to toe.
You know, the last time we had you here at Club Rodeo, we actually went to dinner with you and Kylie and your guitar player, and it was fun because you guys, I don't know, split 400 calories between you. Meanwhile, the guitar player had a steak the size of me.
Yeah. You take a guitar player on the road, they're struggling musicians, you know, they're starving artists. So they will eat when they have been given the opportunity.
Well, you guys were getting excited because your wedding was coming up, because you had to cancel your wedding because, you know, hurricane hit. And then your wedding coming up and you were having it at this friend's house. This is people who, as you call them, your adoptive parents, who just sat back and said, no, you're going to do your wedding here.
Yep. Tom and Mary Torgerson. They actually are partners in the Margaritaville that just broke ground recently on Fort Myers Beach. So, we were supposed to get married October 1st, 22. Hurricane Ian came through the week of our wedding and destroyed the wedding venue, destroyed all their properties. And so we're just more focused on, obviously we're devastated. I was, crushed more for my bride, and then my friends who lost everything they built for 10 years. So I was more so focused on how can I help them, so, um, first duty is I got to be a good husband to be at the time. So I literally Googled what was the nicest weather in the country that weekend of our wedding. And it was NOLA, New Orleans. So I said, Kylie, get one of your wedding dresses, because Kylie's the type that has many of everything. So she got one of her wedding dresses. And I took her to New Orleans, and we just went, around and bar hopping and different restaurants, and I let her wear a wedding dress. While on the side, I was planning a Fort Myers Beach Relief concert for all of our friends. And had it in Nashville. Walker Hayes donated his time. Tiger Lily Gold, our good friends, came, donated their time. And we ended up sending them, I think, close to $100,000. And then because of all that, and I was on The Voice at the time, they were starting to air episodes. Kylie had a single on the radio. Media reached out, and, we did all these interviews, and a venue, Inland in Fort Myers, reached out that wasn't affected, and they offered their venue to us. And it was it was 10 times more beautiful than it was going to be originally. And just, not to be cheesy, but I just feel like that's just sometimes how God works in your life. If you try to force your heart into the right place and do the right thing, so that's what happened. It was stunning.
That is not cheesy at all. Do not denigrate that. That is exactly how God works, that you are doing your best to be okay with everything that's happened to you, that you had zero control over. He does his best to answer that back. And sounds like he did. That's awesome.
He sure did. That's how he's been showing up in our lives. I'm far from perfect. I fail every day, but I feel like when I check myself, he reminds me as to why we should do the right thing as often as we can, and so that was a good example for me. So I love that story. But yeah.
That's amazing how these rules that were established thousands of years ago still work if you follow them.
That's right.
It's Jay and Bradley Gaskin. Did you hear that Bradley Gaskin is opening that show?
Yeah, Bradley's actually become a good friend of ours. He's been on tour with me. I put together a tour called Night of Hope Tour, and I've been touring with my band. I've jokingly called them the Stallions over the years. They have a 5-piece country band that looks rock and roll, and all dressed in black, covered in tattoos. And Bradley's team reached out and asked if they could come and open up for us. And I looked him up and heard his voice one time, and I was like, yeah. And then I learned his story, and I learned his heart, and I was like, yeah. And then we spent time on the road, and we've become really close. So to see that he's going to join us on this show, it's pretty cool for me. It's going to be a pleasure to have him with us.
You can never have too many friends from Alabama, Jay. Let me just say that. Roll Tide.
Are you Bama?
Of course.
Let's go.
Of course. I grew up in L.A. because we call that Lower Alabama. And Bradley's from Gaskin, which is damn near Yankee territory where I'm from.
Yeah, man. So, he's definitely a Bama boy, and you can see it in him and hear it. Like, there's something distinct about guys, especially from Bama. He's all there. I love him. He's so traditional country too, and such a good old boy. And I love his story too. His story of sobriety and his faith and his relationship with his wife. It's really encouraging, because our industry, especially on the road, can get dark if you allow it to. And it's really important to surround yourself, especially men of character. So it's been nice to have him out with us and get to know him, and hopefully try to shine a light together.
That's awesome.
Tell you what, changed my life when I decided to change the guys I hung out with. Right. When I started trying to hang with men who made me want to be better.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happened.
Yeah.
So
not to get off topic, but that's the reason why I have the best friend that I do. He's a veteran. He's a Marine, and he's a little younger than me, but, I just never met a more loyal person, someone that it's so rare for someone to say they're going to do something and then follow through, and he's all that. So I agree with you 1000%, Gary. It's so important.
Yeah.
And that's my band too. When you meet these guys, you'll be like, wow, like younger guys that just they make it a point to, we pray not just before every show for looks, but we intentionally pray all the time on the road together. And, we rock and roll on stage. It's very rock influenced, meets country, but, we talk about our faith and we're proud of it. So
Wow.
Well, and you can stop making me cry anytime. I know your song "Being a Brother" about your buddy. And if you need a few hour, if you back to back, Blank Stares, Being a Brother, and then throw in Bradley Gaskin's "Devil Knew My Grandma Well." And if you just want to get it all out, get it all out.
Hey man, real men cry, so cry away, my friend. That shows strength, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, I ugly cry too. I can't even, and now that I'm a dad, I'll cry, as I said, I'll cry at the end of basketball games. I mean, that are blowouts. And my boys will be like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing. Nothing wrong with me. Shut up.
Why not? Let's cry. That's awesome.
Well, I think it's fun. You get, the website isjallenofficial.com. You're one of my favorite rabbit holes, because I can go down on the YouTube on your rabbit holes and just watch all your voice performances and just watch all the different things you've done. And Julie, he's raised $100 million for Alzheimer's. $100 million.
Just off of Blank Stares? And
just all the stuff he's done.
Yeah, it's really, I think we did a recheck since we last, I never was just like, oh, I've helped raise this much. Check, I was never like, strategically checking that amount of money to brag about it. I just really honestly said yes to every opportunity that was presented to me over the last few years. And God turned me into a philanthropist, and I've gotten really good at helping raise awareness towards a cause, and now other charities as well. We did an event in San Francisco with Buster Posey, retired catcher for the Giants. And
we know who Buster Posey is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He got a hold of my manager, Stacy, somehow, and they reached out and they're like, we've heard all, that Jay has accomplished for Alzheimer's. We'd love to see if we can apply that towards the fight against children's cancer. And we're like, yeah. So he brought us down on the field, and we performed a private event and raised $1.1 million that night. So we've done that over and over and over again for Alzheimer's. And, I went on The Voice and I shared an amount of money I thought I had helped raise. I was sharing my story, and that caught their attention. So they had to do a fact check to legally share that episode on television. And so my attorney got involved, and he called me and said, Jay, you've helped raise over $100 million, not $50 million. And I was like, whoa. And then we've kind of started just keeping track now, because that's an important thing to keep track of. And we're around the 120 mark now. Unfortunately, that's not enough. We partnered with the Alzheimer's Association a couple years back. Alzheimer's Association has been alive and running successfully for 40 years, and they still have not found a cure. I can share, though, with gratitude, that because of the funds I've helped raise, we have now funded treatments being available and approved by the FDA that can slow the onset of Alzheimer's and dementia if we catch it soon enough. So that's a huge deal to a lot of people. So yeah, I'm really proud of what we've done. So we're going to keep doing that.
We're going to get there. The science is promising. We're going to get there. And First Lady invited him to the White House. Dr. Jill Biden just said, hey, Jay, why don't you come hang out with us, and we'll have beanie weenies. It'll be great.
Talk about crying, man. You want to talk about a cry session? I had my head in my arm like that the whole time. That was a wild thing where I was asked to write a song for a film called Unconditional about caregivers, and they decided, First Lady Biden, she decided to invite us for the viewing and performance of the song in the film in the president's private theater. And I was one of the invitees, and we were sitting in the second row in this theater. And at the end of the film, they rolled the credits, and I had noticed it was about three different caregivers, so three different families and what they had gone through, and it shared their story in this film. And so I noticed there was a young boy next to me, and then there was his dad. And at the end, they shared that this guy's wife and this son's mother that they had shared in this film, her story had passed away like very recently from breast cancer. So they shared that in the credits right as they played my song.
Oh,
and we exclusively just gave it to them for the film. We won't release it or anything. It was just for the film. Just gave it to them. And I was like, I realized I put two and two together, and they're like becoming one, like bawling and sobbing while my song's playing. And then the dad puts his hand on my shoulder, and I'm just like, it was
Shut your face and stop making me cry right now.
It was a lot, man. But
that would be the end of me.
Yeah, man. Stacy was next to me too. My manager, Stacy, you'll get to meet her. She just like completely lost it. And thank God they had Kleenexes available. But just reminded, like, it's like there's so much beauty that can come from sadness and pain and vulnerability and being human if we just share it, if we just open up. And so I'm releasing a song called Better Now. Hopefully, I don't care what happens with it for me, but hopefully someone hears it and helps them somehow. It's about overcoming anxiety and depression and PTSD and all these things we deal with. So, the whole concept is if we can just open up and share that and be human, like you never know who you're going to affect, so that's what I'm here for. I will reiterate, our show is very fun and high energy. You're not gonna be crying. You're not gonna be crying the whole time, but that's a big part of what we stand for. We bring the heat and bring the party, but I take a lot of pride in we create a safe place for people to open up and share their hearts and their stories and whatever they're going through as well. So.
And if you haven't seen the Rodeo Club lately, you haven't seen it because they've gussied it up.
Jay, you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be shocked.
Jay. You're gonna go, wow, what happened?
I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
Okay, killer.
Yeah,
so come dirty it up a little bit.
Well, that's a worthy goal right there.
Jay, it'll be fun.
Dude, you are the best. Send our best to your lovely wife.
I will. It's so kind of you. I cannot wait to see your faces and hug you in person and rock and roll for you.
It's time to think differently when it comes to your parties, meetings, and groups. The catering from Havana Cuba restaurant in downtown San Jose. Instead of the same old, how about the most delicious Cuban sandwich you've ever had? You're tired of fries? Plantains, my friends, they'll change your world. And here's something you didn't know. Havana Cuba was voted one of the top 10 tamales in the entire South Bay. They have vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free options, and their website is 998cuba.com. They're located at 387 South 1st Street in downtown San Jose. It's Havana Cuba. Let's talk relationships. Scary, huh? My friend Stephanie Flood can help. She's offering a video series that'll help you reconnect. You can do it by yourself or together. Shows a kinder and gentler way of interacting with your partner, and that can lead to them responding the same way. And Steph is offering a 100% money-back guarantee if you follow the steps and it doesn't improve the lines of communication. That's not all. Go to afloodoflove.com today, enter the promo code Gary to get a 20% discount off the video series. It's afloodoflove.com.